Hi, I'm Lauren Vicker for Making Team Projects Work. Tim Franz is away this week. He's working really hard on Advising Week. And so I am flying solo, and my guest today is Jennifer Wheeler Ballestas, who teaches English as a new language at Brighton High School in Rochester. Jennifer's also the advisor for the International Club and the Muslim Student Association. And we're going to be talking about working in teams when we have students who are new to the English language. So Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for your invitation.
So when we were first discussing team projects with your population of students who are English language learners, you mentioned that there are some cultural differences in terms of whether or not it's good to work in teams or work as an individual. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, first off, our English language learners are always an asset in the classroom. They bring funds of knowledge and diverse ideas towards problem solving. But culturally, working in a team is not always viewed overseas and in other places as beneficial to the student and or the instructor. Students are often measured in terms of the individual. Many students are used to doing work independently and being graded independently on whether it's math or a written task. They see often a group project as well. First of all, if they don't know, if they haven't yet mastered the language of power, it's difficult to put themselves into a project. But to then receive a grade based on a community of learners, they often may see that as a weakness or not fair because it doesn't coincide with their experience in an education system that's different from that of North America. So yeah, it's viewed very differently.
Yeah, so that is something that I think instructors need to keep in mind when they have these students in the classroom. So what kind of advice would you have for teachers who are trying to use teamwork in the classroom, but they have a mix of students who are English language learners?
Well, English language learners are one of our fastest growing demographics in public schools in New York State and across the country.
Hmm.
And that plays out in public schools where I teach as well as higher ed. So that also changes our classroom dynamics. I would say, get to know your students well at first, glean some information, those first few classes, find out if they do speak another language, if they're an English language learner. And then I would encourage instructors to pair students with similar linguistic backgrounds together so that they can converse about the topic at hand. I would also encourage groups who have English language learners who may be singletons. I would encourage, your high flyers, your empathetic, maybe native English speakers to be with those students who might need a little bit of more support in the classroom. So those are just a few suggestions.
Yeah, but those are really good tips. Normally, we would recommend that people are put into groups using a very transparent process, kind of taking a page from team-based learning. But you're saying that maybe the instructor needs to be very intentional about who they are going to put in a team together so that the students who don't have English as their first language, they don't feel left out. They can be part of that whole team process.
Yeah, I mean, depending too on even where our general education students are coming from, if they're transferring from another part of the
Mm.
country, they may not be used to working in teams or doing collaborative type work. So I think always seeing, where the comfort level is of each student and then being intentional, specifically with young people who are just acquiring language, because you don't want to make them feel left out. They're always they're going to feel put self-conscious anyways
Right.
because English isn't their first language. So it's
Mhm.
it's kind of disempowering. So if you can place them, with a buddy or with somebody who speaks their home language, it will just you'll see confidence,
Mhm.
and you'll see, you'll build a community of learners, which is I think what we all want to do.
Absolutely. Those are excellent tips. So thanks so much for joining us today, Jennifer.
Thank
And
you.
we really appreciate you being here. And for Tim Franz, I'm Lauren Vicker. You can read our full blog post at the link below this video. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.